Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 4, Episode 15 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, more of the NFL season like usual. Week 15's here, lots of recaps and reviews, plus some picks here for this week, plus some college football and some power rankings for the NBA and so on. Let's jump in and introduce Huff and Mackie, who are here with me today. Huff, why don't you get us started? What do you got?
Yeah, not much going on. Week 15 in the NFL already. College football playoffs officially set, so love to see that bracket there. But, yeah, not much else coming from me. Good time in the sports world. I'm excited to dive into that college football bracket.
Heck yeah. Mackie, you're next. What do you got for us here, Week 15?
Yeah, like Huff said, obviously that college football bracket's out, first one ever, so it's gonna be nice to dive into. College basketball, I don't think we've had a losing day in about a week, so that's been rolling. I think we're up to 10 units now. So yeah, just back to our bread and butter with that. But other than that, just college football playoff, NFL's getting down to the wire, and yeah.
Awesome. Lots of good stuff, boys. Let's start out with the NFL here, going through Week 14, what we saw, what happened. The Lions squeezing past the Packers there, extending their record to 12-1 there on Thursday night. Steelers beating the Browns in the AFC North matchup. Jags-Titans, real low-scoring game to be expected. Jets-Dolphins going to overtime. Dolphins taking that one there at home. Vikings smacking the Falcons a little bit. Eagles taking care of the Panthers after a scary beginning of that game. First half was a little interesting with Panthers leading most of the way. Any other games you guys want to touch on here? Chiefs sliding past the Chargers there on Sunday Night Football.
Dude, I'm so sick of this, the way they're winning games.
And what they do best. They're getting the job done. Mahomes gets the job done.
Somehow, some way.
Their third kicker of the year, doinks one in. Like any other franchise, that doink goes the other way. It's fucking doinking out of the upright.
You got a lot of that post, too. I'm surprised it went in.
Solid on that post.
Nice bounce.
I don't think you could hit it any more square. I think it was just the angle of the ball. It took it right in.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Bengals taking down the Cowboys there in the last 2 minutes, 27-20. Just barely sliding past there. That was a pretty good Monday Night Football game. Anything else to touch on here in Week 14?
Yeah, I just want to say I needed. I was up by 41 points going into that Monday Night Football game, and guess who I was playing against? Jamar Chase. God. Lost by 4, so that was nice. It's not that detrimental. I just need to win this week, and I'm in. Playoffs haven't even started yet, but it was pretty bad.
Damn.
Put up 173 points and lost.
That's ridiculous.
One of them ones.
Yeah. Well, we have some key injuries to take note of from Week 14. Cowboys, DeMarvion Overshown, torn his ACL, MCL, and PCL in his right knee. Just terrible thing to say. It was so hard to watch.
Same knee as last year.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year. He obviously had a serious injury last year. He comes back. He looked pretty good the last few weeks.
But he's been arguably he's your second guy on defense right now.
Yeah. But his 2025 season's in jeopardy now with all that. So
it's so late too. Like you wish that would have happened just again at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like
Especially
the
the way
next
the
guy,
season's
Jonathan Brooks,
going.
comes back and immediately tears it again.
Exactly. But terrible start to his career, obviously, because he has so much potential. But I mean, this could be a difference maker for.
Is he from where? Oklahoma?
I couldn't tell you where he's from.
I think he's Oklahoma. I want to say
he's good though.
Texas.
That sucks. You'd hate to see it.
Yeah, Huff, you mentioned Panthers running back Jonathan Brooks re-tearing his ACL here. That sidelined him through his first half of his rookie season. Recently came off the IR, previously tearing his ACL at Texas. Along with that, George Pickens missed the Steelers' Week 14 divisional matchup versus the Browns. Is listed doubtful to play in Philadelphia here this weekend, Saturday at 4:30.
I didn't know he was out. What happened?
Hamstring. He got hurt in practice, and now they're saying they're not bringing him back until he's 100%.
Smart. No need to rush him. I mean, I guess you're not.
As long as all they care about is winning the division. They're not actually. I'm the only one that actually cares about the 2 seed. Like, they're just more worried about
at
getting
the end
healthy.
of the day, 2 seed plays the same amount of games as a 3 seed. It's just about home field in that second round against the Bills.
Yeah. It's really just so you don't have to go to Buffalo.
Yeah, seriously. Alrighty. Well, let's jump into some of these matchups here for Week 15, starting out with Thursday Night Football, the Rams and the 49ers here in San Francisco. 49ers favored by just 3 points there, total at 48.5. 49ers money line at -150, Rams at +125. Huff, what do you think about this Thursday night football matchup here in California?
I obviously the Rams are my pick to win this division. I'm going to lean on the Rams here, plus the 3 points. We've seen McVay, Shanahan give us some classic, obviously NFC West battles out there between these two teams. I'm not sure, Mackie. Do you know what the score was when these two teams played each other last this season? This is obviously the second time, I think.
Yeah, 27-24 Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams plus the points here, plus the 3 points.
Huh.
I think they hang close with them. McVay
like
obviously
that play.
calls his best stuff against his. I feel like they're arch nemesis, but they were obviously former coaching coworkers over in
Redskins.
Washington. They were part of that coaching tree over there. These two guys love to go at each other. Give me McVay and the Rams plus the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm going to lean on that as well. The Niners, I mean, Guerrero, I think, is out in this game. I saw his status in question, but, I mean, you got a fourth-string running back in there, Patrick Taylor, says his name is, but I don't know. Niners looked a lot better last week. They looked like they were kind of back to form. They were playing a really shitty Bears team who's lost, I think, 7 straight or something like that, so I don't really know how far we could take that, but, I mean, that Rams offense last week was just incredible against, I think, the number 1 passing rating defense in the league going into that game. But Matt Stafford looks incredible. Nakua and Kupp, you can't guard both of them. And then if you decide you want to, Kyren Williams is going to run it down your throat. So it's going to be really hard to stop that.
Yeah, Robinson's been a very good option, a third option for them behind those two good receivers.
Huge. He gets in the end zone a lot too. But yeah, I like this Rams team. I like them plus the 3 here. I'm not sold on these Niners being back just yet, even though they looked good last week. It's going to be a really good divisional game. I'm going to take the points here at the plus 3.
I'm liking the plus 3 as well. Hopefully we have a good Thursday night football game here. Moving on to Sunday here, 1 p.m. Chiefs and Browns get us started here. Chiefs the favorite as the road favorite here at -4, total at 44. Chiefs money line at -225. Browns plus 185. What do we think about this game here in Cleveland?
7 straight games the Chiefs have not covered, and they're 6-1 in that span. Obviously,
are they starting? Is Vegas starting to realize that? Because why is this spread -4?
4.5. Exactly. Well, that's exactly why it's 4.5, because they're not going to make them more than a 6-point favorite anymore when they've played the Panthers, the Raiders, now the Browns,
Chargers,
I guess.
only won by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, but that's expected. I'm talking about these shitty teams that they're still beating by 2-3 points, and
yeah.
I mean, Vegas has to catch on sooner or later. I think you're going to see a lot of money on the Chiefs -4.5. I think this could be the week where Vegas just kind of has to take their losses on them. But I'm not going to be taking the Chiefs -4.5. I think they cover, but it's just, this is a team you stay away from.
Yeah, I agree. I like the under. Give me the 44. I like it to be a lower scoring game. Obviously, I'm not sold on this Browns team. Chiefs have scored 19 points in back-to-back games. Their defense gets the job done as well. Give me the under 44 here.
Teasing through 0 is never a good idea. I never recommend it, but in this situation, I think it would be a great idea to get them like +1, +1.5.
Or make it a 3-team, or you get them at like +4.5.
Yeah, it's 2. That is true. Chiefs should get the job done regardless.
Yeah, I like the under. They've been playing they play the most boring style of football right now.
It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
They're just trying to win games and get that 1 seed.
You want to say
you think they lose a game the rest of the year?
I gotta look at their schedule. You want to say that they're like the worst 12-1 team of all time, but they have Patrick Mahomes and they're back-to-back champions. So, yeah. I mean, how bad really are they? They got to go to Pittsburgh. That could be really tough.
On Christmas.
I think, if anything, that's the only game they lose. They got to go to Denver as well.
Right?
Yeah, week 18.
I think they can end on 2 losses. I'm not saying they would, but I don't think they'd lose 2 in a row.
I don't think that...
If they lose to the Steelers, they'd whoop the Broncos.
I just don't think that last game is going to really matter.
Exactly. So they can lose that one anyway. But
Bills go to the Lions this week.
That's going to be a good one.
If they lose that game, and they're out of contention for that 1 seed, assuming the Chiefs win.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers, I mean, I'm assuming the Steelers are going to drop one of the next 3. So
I'd say 2-1 is best case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just too hard of a schedule. But I just don't think that Week 18 game is going to matter. So they'll probably lose that Week 18 game because the Broncos are going to be fighting.
Yeah, I agree. I like the under here, though. I do think the Chiefs get the win.
Lots of good stuff there. Let's move forward to this next 1 o'clock matchup here. Bengals-Titans in Nashville. Bengals the favorite here, 5 points for them. Total at 47. Bengals money line at -250. Titans at +195. What do we think about this game here? Another 1 o'clock matchup, Bengals-Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals minus the 5 here. I hate the Titans. They're 2-11 against the spread this year. They're not covering anything. Really dead in the water. I don't like Will Levis at all. I've expressed that multiple times this year. And the Bengals coming off a nice win. You could say they have a little life in them. I think they definitely have to win out and then have some help on top of that. But nice win last week. It's probably a little sketchy. Probably shouldn't have won that game with all those.
Like Burrow said, it's nice to get one of those bounces go our way.
Yeah, exactly, because they've been going against them the entire year. So obviously they got that nice win. They're sitting at 5-8. They're going to come out strong. I think Joe Burrow has a huge game. Jamar Chase obviously has a big game. That defense just needs to play a little better, and they did play pretty good last week. A few nice sacks. I think they got to Cooper Rush a few times, and 27-20 win. You'll take that any day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm on the Bengals too. -5. I like them to win this game and cover. I think they need to win this one if they want to stay in that race. It looks like Joe Burrow still has that team motivated. Looks like they're still playing for Zach Taylor. That's usually something that is a big factor in these teams that are kind of out of the playoffs on the outside looking in. Are they still playing for the coach? Is there rumors of coach getting fired? Things like that. You haven't heard any rumblings like that out of Cincinnati. They seem to be all in on Zach Taylor. Burrow's leading those guys. We've seen what Jamar Chase has done over the past couple of weeks. It's hard to go against his team right now. I'm going to take the Bengals -5. I think Tennessee had looked good last week against that Jaguars offense. This is night and day in offense coming to town this week. And Brian Callahan, the Brian Callahan revenge game factor for the Titans, I don't think he's going to do it. Titans head coach was obviously the Bengals offensive coordinator last year, so
he can only do so much.
Maybe he knows how to box up Jamar Chase and Burrow a little bit, but I don't think you can really stop them. It's more of a contain. But what we've seen the numbers Jamar Chase put up, I wouldn't be surprised if he has another touchdown and 100 yards in this game for 10 catches.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have the weapons to stop them. Even if they want to double team Jamar every single play, you have T. Higgins, you have Yoshi Vosh, you have even Gesicki if you want to give him the football.
I like Chase Brown. He's been a great piece for that team.
Yeah, he's been huge. Ace was saying he's not good enough to carry that load. I think he definitely is.
I think he 100% is. He's going to be their guy next year.
Yeah, for sure. But Zach Moss will be back as well, assuming they keep him.
I think Brown established himself as they're that much better of a team when he's in there.
I agree, 100%. Definitely.
We'll have to see though.
Alrighty, let's keep it moving here through Sunday. We have the Commanders and the Saints also 1 o'clock here. Saints at home, but the Commanders the favorite, 7.5 points for them. Total at 43. Commanders money line at -375. Saints at +300. What do you guys think about this one? Commanders and Saints.
Yeah, obviously no Derek Carr. I think it says Spencer Rattler is going to start. Huge difference. But without Derek Carr, it's one of those scenarios where the Commanders are just going to blow out one of those lowly teams again. They do it every week against these bad teams, and they don't really perform against the better teams. I think they cover the 7 here. Coming off a bye as well, so they've had 2 weeks to prep for this. I think Jaden Daniels has a huge game. Saints are kind of dead in the water. I think they won last week, so they're 5-8, I think, in a weak division. Can't call them out just yet. I just don't think they have enough, especially with Derek Carr out for the season.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all. Commanders have, like you said, killed bad teams all year. Saints, I just don't like betting on them at all. That over-under is a little too low for me. I'd lean on the Commanders, but I don't really have an official play on this one.
Yeah, tough
this
game.
Is one that will not even grace my TV on Sunday.
Definitely not one of the better games this week, but for the sake of conversation, I'm going to go with the Commanders minus the 7.5.
Alrighty. Our biggest spread of the week here coming up, 1 o'clock, Ravens, Giants in New York. Ravens, 16-point favorites, total 43. Ravens money line at a lock of a -1,400. Giants plus 775. Oh, gosh. Can't speak today. What do you guys think about this one? Do Ravens cover that monster spread?
I think they do. I think they win this game. I think this gets ugly.
DeVito.
DeVito going for the Giants. Drew Lock's in a walking boot. Ravens coming off a loss and a bye week. I know this one isn't a home game. I usually love home teams off a bye. Ravens obviously heading up to the Meadowlands, not too far of a road trip. I'm gonna lean on the Ravens -16 here. I think this is a 31-10, something like that. Maybe even if the Giants can get 10.
But are you gonna play it?
I've been looking at it. It keeps
No
getting
way.
steeper and
Come
steeper.
on. The
It
16
was
and a
15,
half.
like it was 15 yesterday. I wish I got it at 15.
I took a teaser last week with Eagles. I brought them down to -8. They missed fucking 3 field goals, win the game by 6. So that's just how those spreads usually go for me. So I'm gonna stay away from these higher spreads for the rest of the season. But I mean, the Giants have nothing. Malik Neighbors is questionable. He probably won't even play. Why would you play? Just take the damn week off. You're 16.5-point underdogs. You're coming to Vito throwing you the football. I mean, realistically, I could see the Ravens not even giving up a point here, but just one of those games where they could be looking ahead and just really not take them seriously, and it could be closer towards the end. But I mean, the Ravens should take care of business. I'm not touching 16.5. Derrick Henry 2+ touchdowns.
Let that be a good play. I like a Lamar rushing touchdown here.
All righty, let's keep this moving here. Cowboys, Panthers in Charlotte. Panthers are the favorite here. 3 points for them. Total at 43. Panthers money line -145. Cowboys at +120. Mackie, what do you think your Cowboys are going to do this week after just barely losing to those Bengals there last week?
First time Panthers are favored in 3 years.
Do you think this is crazy that they're favored?
Yeah, not
The
really.
trap?
I mean, the Cowboys have also been getting they've had some respect on their name.
Yeah, they've had
Even
some
with
good
the
games the
injuries
past
and
couple weeks.
stuff, I mean,
So have the Panthers.
I like Bryce Young. I like the way he's playing recently. I don't like Bryce Young. I think he's playing a lot better. And against a banged up defense, I think he can have a good game. I think he'll probably get sacked a few times. Mike will get to him, but I kind of hope the Cowboys lose because they're out of contention now.
I was gonna say you're at the point where you should start wanting them to lose games.
Well, I wanted them to lose last week too because even if they do make the playoffs, they're not going anywhere. Cooper Rush.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I don't know. I guess I lean on the Panthers.
Yeah, I do like the Panthers here. I don't know if I like the -3, maybe 2.5. At the -125, you could probably get it out with the -105 for -3. Panthers been playing good football. Obviously, we saw them almost, take down the Eagles in Philly last week as a 14.5-point underdog. They end up only losing that game by 6. They totally boxed up Saquon. That Carolina defense has looked pretty good the past couple of weeks, holding the Chiefs to, or they give up 30 against the Chiefs, but that offense looked really good against the Chiefs, and when the offense looks bad in Philly, the defense really steps up. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers here to win this one. Or -2.5. I like either of those plays.
Alrighty, moving forward here. Another 1 o'clock game. Jets and Jaguars. Tough 1 o'clock slate here this week. 2, 3, and 10 teams. Jets the favorite. Yeah. Jets the favorite here. 3.5 points total. 40.5. Money line for the Jets -185. Jags at +150. Game in Jacksonville. What do you guys think?
Jets, give me the Jets. Get a win here. I mean, you can't take the Jets at -3.5. You can't give the other team points and still take the Jets. But so I'm not gonna have a play on this one. But give me the Jets to win this football game. They probably should have won that game last week. Everything fell apart like it always does, and they ended up losing by a touchdown in overtime. But I mean, the Jets are not a 3-10 team. The Jaguars are clearly happy to be 3-10 with Mac Jones playing quarterback. So I think the Jets will cover here. But I mean, season's cooked either way.
I agree. I'm not taking the Jets -3.5. I do think they win the game. I think the Jaguars are better. The Jets love to fuck up their draft pick. This is a game you need to lose if you want like a top 6 pick, and they're going to win.
Yeah, really shitty game. Probably the worst game of the week.
Yeah, terrible game. Save your money. Don't even watch.
Final 1 o'clock matchup here. Dolphins, Texans in Houston. Texans the favorite here. Just 3 points for them. Total at 47. Texans money line at +1 or -150. Excuse me. Dolphins +125. What do we think about this final 1 o'clock matchup here in Week 15?
Give me the Dolphins on the money line. I mean, it's not sharp play, I don't think, but Texans don't really
Press you.
yeah, there you go.
They're definitely my worst division winner coming out of the AFC this year.
Texans easy. Yeah. They're just in a really weak division, so they'll get away with it. But they're 2-3 in their last 5. They have not played good football. They beat the Jags by 3 points in their last game. Miami 4-1 in their last 5. Obviously, a completely different team with Tua back. They were 3-8 at one point. Never mind, not 3-8 because they only have 7 losses. They were like 1-5, I think, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing really bad football. Now that Tua's back, they're playing really good, finding ways to win. Last week, obviously, was a perfect example of it. And I think they're really pushing for a playoff spot here. They're only sitting 2 games out. This is when they need, and it's definitely a feasible one. So I think Tyreek Hill had a huge game last week. I think he has another big game this week. A-Chain, I think he got injured last week, if I'm not wrong, but I'm not sure. Not sure how severe it is. That offense should be going regardless, and I think they get the win here.
I like the Dolphins here. I also like the over 47. I think both teams are able to put up points, obviously, in the Dome down there in Houston. I think, like you said, Dolphins offense will get going. I think Stroud will still get his. They'll stay close in this game, but I like the Dolphins to come out on top, and I like the over 47. Maybe like a 20, 26, 23 win, like a tight game. I think the Dolphins pull it out.
Texans have had 2 weeks to prep for this, so you could see a good game out of them, but I just think they make too many mistakes. CJ Stroud's kind of having a sophomore slump here, but I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think they get the job done here. I think they're a little overrated, and they're definitely not 8-5 worthy.
He called himself a top 3 quarterback this year.
Yeah, you got to back that up, and he's not doing it. It's the problem with these guys in their podcasts. I mean, you either got to play or you got to talk. Like you can't say.
Did you see the memes of Micah running off the field on Monday night?
No, but there's got to be so many of them.
He said, "Damn, got to go record that damn podcast."
See, it's like things like that. Like you got to expect that. He runs home and hops on a podcast.
Alrighty, jumping into the 4 o'clock slate here. Some better games here for sure. Starting out with the Colts and Broncos in Denver. Broncos the favorite, 4 points for them. 44.5 is the total, minus 200 for the Broncos on the money line. Colts plus 165. What do we think about this game in Mile High Stadium?
I like the Broncos. I think they pull this out, -4, hard place to play. I think they kind of put the Colts season on life support here, especially if the Texans somehow pull out a win in that last game. Colts really need this game bad. I just think the Broncos are too good of a team, especially at home in Mile High. Give me the Broncos -4.
Yeah, this game has a lot of playoff implications. Colts are the first team out. Broncos are the last team in. They're up 2 games on them. So this game, I mean, this is huge for the Broncos if they want to get a spot in the playoffs. I think that it's a really hard place to play. But, I mean, the Colts are going to keep it close. I don't like the 4 points here for the Broncos. I think if you want to take the money line, I think they can pull it out. I think Bo Nix is a really good game. And I'm taking Bo Nix over Anthony Richardson every single day of the week. But it's going to be close. There's going to be a lot of turnovers. It's going to be a messy game. And I think it's going to come down to the wire. But I think the Broncos definitely get the job done. And they almost solidify themselves in that playoff spot. They'll be really close. They'll have 3 games.
And it's not going. Would it be crazy to say the Broncos might not be the last team in?
No, it wouldn't be crazy. They're all tied right now, but I mean, it's the Ravens and Chargers.
Ravens, Broncos.
Chargers have Bucks. Well, Chargers play the Broncos in 2 weeks. That's going to be the game to.
That's the game to decide who the 6th seed is and who the 7th seed is.
Yeah.
That's also assuming the Ravens. I mean, Ravens are going to win this week. Steelers next week. Texans the week after, in Houston, and then
Ravens
against Cleveland.
Ravens will win 3 out of 4. Whether they lose to the Texans or the Steelers, I'm not sure, but they will lose one of those games and win the rest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Broncos, are you sold on them? You think they're a legitimate playoff team?
I think they could scare a team.
Being a Steelers fan, would you be at all worried playing them in the first round? You'd rather play the Chargers?
Yeah, and they have a better defense.
Chargers are just known.
Yeah.
They're known for losing those games.
And I think Sean Payton's been there, done that in the playoffs. Like, I'd be more scared. I'd rather go up against Harbaugh in, like, his first year back in the NFL.
What about the other Harbaugh?
I'd rather probably, I don't know. I hate to say I'd rather see the Ravens, but, like, the past 4 years, the Steelers have owned them. It's not even.
Have you seen them in the playoffs at all?
No.
Well, the Ravens don't really win playoff games either, so.
Yeah. We're 8-1 against the Ravens in the last 9.
So the Broncos are the last wildcard team you'd want to see right now?
I think so.
Wow.
But the stats defended for the Steelers, like, if we're home against rookie quarterbacks, I think Tomlin's like 26-2 against the spread.
Yeah, I mean, that's the game Tomlin wouldn't lose. Yeah, Steelers are looking good to win a playoff game at least.
Yeah, I hope. I just want it to be a home game.
Did you clinch a playoff spot? Yeah, you had to.
Huh?
You had to clinch a playoff spot.
We clinched a playoff spot, just obviously not the division.
Doesn't say you did. I mean,
I think this weekend is
if we win this week, we do. But
if you win or the Colts and Dolphins both lose, or I mean, there would have to be a disaster for you guys to not make it.
If the Ravens somehow lose to the Giants, like shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all stupid shit. But yeah, big week for you guys.
That comes up with those scenarios.
Get paid for it too.
You just sit there and clicks through a schedule, and it's all like lined up, and it's telling them all the records.
It's all an algorithm. Yeah, he just plugs it all in, and it's like, all right, this is how this happens, and then Week 18 is so funny because it's like those teams that you need like
I love when it's like these teams get in,
the
tie, Raiders win or tie, the Texans lose or tie. It's like, okay, no one ties. Just take those out of it. And then usually week 18 is the one week where there always is a tie.
Remember that one year?
They could have kicked the Steelers out of the playoffs. They didn't do it.
Yeah, because he called a timeout.
Right?
That was crazy. Insane.
Was that the year the Raiders went to the playoffs to play the Bengals, or was that the year
Yeah,
the
that was
Chargers
the year
won
the
in playoffs?
Raiders beat the Chargers.
Yeah, the Raiders beat the Chargers in that game. But I'm saying that game sent the Raiders to Cincinnati, right?
It sent the Raiders into the playoffs. It was a win and get in
I think
scenario.
Cincinnati the year that the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. That was our first year doing this podcast.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Alrighty, let's keep moving through this 4 o'clock slate here. Bills and Lions in Detroit here. Lions the favorite, 2.5 points for them. Total at 54.5. Lions money line at -145. Bills at +120. What do we think about this matchup? Going to be a good one here. Bills 10-3, Lions 12-1. What do we see happening here?
Yeah, I think we can call this game of the week.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think
I don't know. What are you feeling here? You like the over?
Why would they not put one of these in the 1 o'clock slate?
What, between
Bills,
Steelers?
Lions, Steelers, Eagles.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal because the 1 o'clock
Why are they
slate.
both at 4:30?
1 o'clock slate is terrible too.
so. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think here? The over is 53.5. It's the highest of the season. What do you think about that one?
I see 54.5.
Jesus
That's so
Christ,
high.
dude.
I always say in these games, just take the over. It's that high for a reason. Who do you think wins the game, dude? I think
Do
getting
you
Buffalo.
think the Bills lose 2 in a row?
Crazy.
What'd you say?
I said getting Buffalo at +120 is crazy. Like to think that, but then on the other side, you're getting the Lions at -145, and you're betting the Bills to lose 2 games in a row right now going into the playoffs when you need to lock up that 2 seed or chase them for the 1 seed. Say some freak shit happens, Chiefs lose 2 games in a row. Bills and Steelers are both in play for that 1 seed.
I'm gonna go with Bills. Bills money line here.
I lean on the Bills too. It
I
kills
don't
me
think
because
they
I like
lose
the
2 in a
Lions,
row.
but I
I
think
don't.
the Bills need this game more.
And I think the Bills' defense is a little better than the Lions, and it's going to come down to getting stops. And I don't know. I don't trust this Lions offense as much as I trust this Bills. I don't know. Say that.
Yeah, you definitely trust the offense as much. You just trust their defense more.
I don't know, dude, because Josh Allen.
Yeah, but like Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta, St. Brown, like the skill players in Detroit are better than Buffalo, but the quarterback in Buffalo is 10 times better.
And when it comes down to it, I mean, the quarterback is the most
Is what matters.
important.
Because he can run the ball too. I mean, they have James Cook. Like, I don't know. They just don't have the receivers like they have in Detroit, like the options.
Yeah, you have Khalil Shakir and
Stevenson,
Keon Coleman.
Williams.
I'm going to go with the Bills. That could change, but as of right now,
I don't even want to make a side yet. I like the over.
As of right now, I'm going to see the Bills.
I'm probably going to make a pick on this game, but I don't know. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I'm going to see which way the money goes because if the Lions get to -3, that I don't know. I feel like that's telling me they know something. And I might take.
I might just sit back and enjoy a good football game.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's in Detroit?
In Detroit.
yes.
So no weather implications either.
Yeah.
Correct.
Dude, the Lions have played like one outdoor game all year, and it was like the first game of the year.
Well, yeah, I think Jared Goff was playing.
And it was a couple weeks ago in Green Bay, and it rained, and they beat the shit out of the Packers.
I think I saw a stat before the season that Jared Goff is playing in 3 outdoor games this year, or something like that.
And if he's the 1 seed, he won't have to play in one all year. It'll be 3 all year. You know what I mean? Because they have a dome in the Super Bowl.
Crazy,
A dome.
dude. They got to play at they played at Lambeau already. They got to play at Soldier
San Francisco.
and at Soldier. That's it. Those are the only outdoor games they played
San
all season.
Francisco doesn't even count. It's not bad weather.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're away games for the Cardinals, Cowboys, Vikings, Packers, Texans.
That'd be like they have 3 outdoor games. One in Miami, one in
Charlotte, one in
Jacksonville, and one in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so Soldier Field is not going to be easy, but I mean, it's the Bears, so.
Divisional game. They've been there before.
Alrighty, next 4 o'clock matchup here. Steelers and Eagles in Philadelphia. Eagles the favorite here, 5.5 points for them. Total at 42.5. Eagles -225. Steelers +185 on the money line. Huff, what do you think the Steelers are going to be able to do this week?
I like the over 42 points here, but I also think the Steelers are able to hang with them. The locker room issues going on there in Philly. We heard Brandon Graham on the Philly radio show talking about Hurts and Brown and their issues. They were friends. Now something's changed. Obviously, I still think that I think this is a big game to look for A.J. Brown. I think they're going to give him that squeaky wheel treatment that we always love to point out. But you can't have a number one receiver. He hasn't had double-digit targets since week 1. I think that's something you could see this week. A stingy Steelers secondary, though, to throw at. It's going to be interesting. I think it's obviously going to be Joey Porter mostly shadowing him throughout the day, Minka over the top. The Steelers defense has come to play. I'm going to take the Steelers plus the 6 points. Probably, I feel more comfortable with them. They're my favorite teaser leg of the week. If they lose this game, I think it will be a closer game, but I think you get them at plus 10. You're sitting pretty with the Steelers here.
I think the Eagles win this game outright. I think 5.5 points is way too many points to give the Steelers. I think if you tease it either way, you're golden.
This was one of the games as in the pre. I literally said the Steelers were going to go. I think what is it? What would it be? 11-5.
11-5. 11-6.
How many games did they play?
11-6. They play 17.
11-6. This was one of the games I for sure counted as a loss.
Yeah, this is.
I counted them as beating the Chiefs on Christmas. So one of those was wins, though.
This is a tough game to start a 10-game. Play 3 games in 10 games, something like that. Against 3 of the hardest teams in the league.
Sunday at 4:00, Saturday at 4:00, then the following Wednesday on Christmas.
Wednesday, wow, that's just brutal. Yeah, they really fucked you guys here, but should be a really good game. I just think you can't give the Steelers 6 points. I think they probably should cover that. I think but I don't see the Eagles losing this game. I think they're playing really good football. Obviously those locker room implications could play a part. I don't think they really will at the end of the day.
I don't think they will.
I think it's all just talk, trying to get in people's heads and stuff. But really good game. Eagles didn't look the best last week, but they weren't playing a very good team. I said it about 5 weeks ago. I think they're the second best team in the league, and I think that until they prove otherwise by losing a game, I'm going to have to stick with them. Great teaser opportunity. I'll probably be teasing the Eagles down to plus a half, I guess, or it'll be a pick 'em or whatever, +1. But I mean, this could also be the game of the week. This is going to be a really good game between two really good teams. I'm going to take the home team, though.
Alrighty, another 4:00 matchup here. Patriots in Cardinals in Arizona. Cardinals the favorite here, 6 points for them. Total at 46. Cardinals money line at -250. Patriots at +200. What do we think about this game?
I love the Cardinals here. Minus the 6 points. I think this is a game. This means nothing to the Patriots. They're trying to get a good draft pick. They're good at losing. At least they're a good organization. They know how to lose and when they need to lose. I think this is one that they will. Cardinals, they need this game to stay in that tight NFC West. It's still anybody's division out there. They dropped a tough one last week at home to Seattle. I'd like to think this is a must-win for the Cardinals. I think they cover the -6. I'm going to take the Cardinals on the spread here.
Yeah, I'm going to go against you on this one. I like the Patriots plus the 6, and the Cardinals have lost 3 straight. They're losing their stride. Wasn't high on them to begin with. I didn't think they'd have 6 wins all year. They're already at 6 wins, so they're overachieving in my book. I'm not a big Cardinals guy. I think the Patriots keep it close. They kept it close last week against the Colts team. I don't think the Cardinals are much better than the Colts. Sketchy game. I think Drake May is going to have a pretty good game against a pretty weak defense and cover the 6 points. Not going to say they're going to win, but they're gonna keep it close. Cover the 6 points.
Why is there so many 4:00 games?
How many?
And 2 Monday Night Football games.
5. Why is there 5 4:00 games?
There's only 7 1:00 with a full slate. Interesting.
I was like, Jesus Christ! I'm looking at the times for these games. I'm like, is my app frozen or something? Then I looked at the other
7 and 5. They never split it up like that.
Yeah. Bucks Chargers, the next one, another good game that could have been in the 1:00 slate. But I guess it's in LA, so that's why they're out.
Yeah, they can't put that at 1:00.
Let's move forward here to Bucks Chargers here in LA. Like you said, Chargers the favorite here, 3 points for them. Total at 45.5. Chargers -150. Bucks +125. Final 4:00 game here. What do we think?
Chargers are obviously very injured. I think they squeaked this one out on the money line. I think they need this game. Obviously, coming off a loss last week against the Chiefs, they stayed in that game. They did what they could. They covered that 4-point spread. I'm going to go with the Chargers here to win this one. I also like the under 45.5. I think it's a lower scoring bout. Chargers defense is able to contain Baker, kind of force a couple of mistakes. I like the Chargers to win this one.
I'm going to go with the Bucks here. I think they're the Chargers can afford a loss here. Bucks really can, I'm going to say. Falcons get to play the Raiders this week, so they probably should win that game. It's a really tight race down there in the NFC South. I like Baker to get the job done. Like you said, the Chargers are really banged up. I don't think Ladd's going to play. No Will Dissly. He got injured last week. Justin Herbert's finding really hard time to find receivers to to throw to, especially when he can find them. They're usually dropping the balls anyway. But good game. Two really good teams, in my opinion. I think the Bucks are better than the record. I think they've won 3 or 4 straight, if I'm not mistaken. Riding high. I like Baker here to get the job done. That two-headed snake back there with Rashad White and Bucky Irving has been incredible.
Yeah, they're good.
Good game, though. I could see either team winning this game.
Alrighty, heading into Sunday Night Football here. Packers and Seahawks in Seattle. Packers are the favorite here. 3 points for them. Total at 46. Packers money line at -150. Seahawks at +125. What do we think about Sunday Night Football here in Week 15?
What do you think, Huff? This is a good game. Wow, this is a really good game.
This is a tough one to call. I think the Packers are kind of reeling a little bit. This game being in Seattle makes me lean on the Seahawks a little bit. Seahawks have kind of got their swagger back. They had a couple of games where they were struggling in the middle part of the year. They definitely look like they have their identity back. Obviously, Charbonnet's been going off for them. Geno's been playing great football. And that defense, those pesky cornerbacks, that's one thing the Seahawks are good at picking. Tariq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon. I like a lot of those pieces on that Seahawks team. I'm going to lean on the Seahawks +3 here.
Yeah, Seahawks have 3 out of their last 4 wins being divisional wins. They're getting the job done left and right. They have a 2-game lead, or no, not a 2-game lead. They have a 1-game lead in the NFC West right now. Rams breathing down their neck. They need this
road win last week too in Arizona.
Huge road win. That's 2 wins in 3 weeks against the Cardinals. They had a win against the Niners a week before. I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. I think it's a good play. I think the Packers are a really good team, and I think you're going to see them in the playoffs as well, obviously. But Seahawks need this one. They're playing better football right now. Geno's getting the job done. And Zach Charbonnet is coming into a really good spot. He had 38 fantasy points last week. I think he had two touchdowns, maybe 3. No, I think he had 2. I like the Seahawks team. I think they're playing really good football. It's going to be hard to beat them in their home field.
Alrighty, moving over to Monday Night Football here. 2 games this Monday. Starting out, Bears and Vikings in Minnesota. Vikings the favorite here, 7 points for them. 43.5 is the total, -350 on the money line for the Vikings, +260 for the Bears. What do we think about this first Monday Night Football game?
Tease the Vikings down to 1.
Last week with the Falcons.
Tease the Vikings down to 1. Yeah, Falcons were my favorite play last week. I'm glad I didn't 2-unit it because I was going to, but they look good. Sam Darnold had a huge game last week. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison's been out of control, but too many weapons over there. I think the Vikings cover the 7, but I like to tease it down to 1.
I think it's a better game. I was gonna say I like a -7 too. I think you tease them down. This is a free.
They're not gonna lose this game.
Alrighty, second Monday Night Football game here for Week 15. Falcons and Raiders in Las Vegas. Falcons the favorite here, 4 points for them. Total 44. Falcons money line at -225. Raiders at +180. What do we think about our final game of the week here? 8:30 p.m. on Monday.
Are the Falcons dead, Mac?
4 straight losses. Kirk Cousins looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
What's the Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football stat?
Oh, geez, you don't even want to know.
It's not good, is it?
No. I think he's like a 100% win percentage, like a .100, like one in.
Is Aiden O'Connell playing for the Raiders?
Yeah, I think so. Why wouldn't he?
All right.
What a brutal game, dude. I mean, the Falcons are terrible right now.
That's why there's 2 games. I like the under 44. I think this will be an ugly game. This will be the one you don't want to watch. Bears Vikings will give you some points. I think Raiders Falcons goes under the 44.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna play it on Monday. I'm gonna tease the Raiders up to 10. I think you can get 10. I'm gonna tease the Vikings down to 1, and I think that'll be fair. I think this game's gonna be close down to the wire. The Falcons need to get the job done. They're
I'm gonna play that with
a tight race. You like that? Let's go. Yeah, I think it's a closer game.
The Raiders. Yeah, this is a good home spot on Monday Night Football. Raiders are always
really
good for
struggling team.
Time win.
Against a really struggling team too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. I like that play.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap up everything we have for Week 15 of the NFL. Let's go into our power rankings here for this week. Starting at number 5, the Buffalo Bills. Number 4, the Minnesota Vikings. Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. And number 1, the Detroit Lions. Any thoughts on these before we move forward?
Yeah, I think my Steelers got kind of fucked this week, but there's a lot of good teams in that top 6-7 category. Obviously, the Packers are in there as well. They've had a couple of losses. the Ravens. Even the it's very top heavy this year. I think there's a lot of good teams in the league. But Minnesota continues to win games in a huge effort against Atlanta. We saw that. Eagles have had a tough, scary game against the Panthers, but they get a win for their 9th straight. Chiefs continue to win games, and then obviously we get Lions Bills this week. So we'll have to see. It's going to be an interesting kind of race to the finish. See what these final playoff standings are.
Alrighty, one more point before we get out of here in the NFL. Steelers kicker Chris Boswell is on pace to break the NFL single-season record for field goals made. Boswell is currently at 36. The record is at 44, which is set by David Akers in 2011. Boswell also leads the NFL in scoring with 137 points. Huff, what do you think about Boswell this year? And what do you think about this record?
I think he ends the season with 45 or more. That's like 1.5 field goals a game for the rest of the season, right?
What's the record? 45?
He needs
44.
6 more.
In 4
He needs
games?
6 more to tie it, 7 to break it.
He's great.
No, if he's at 36, he needs 8 to tie it. 9 to break it.
Oh, okay. I'm reading it like I'm doing the math like 38. Yeah, so he needs 8 to tie it, 9 to break it. Which is 4
2 a
games.
game with one having 3. I mean, the way Steelers play football, very feasible.
I think he can do it.
What does he have right now? 36?
Yeah.
Through how many games?
Steelers are 10-3.
So he's averaging 3 a game right now. No, he's not. He's averaging less.
13 times 3 is 39, right?
Yeah, so he's averaging like 2.8.
Pretty close, like 2.7 a game.
2.7, 2.8. Jesse, what's that math say?
Say it again.
36 divided by 13. It should be like 2.75, 2.8.
2.76.
Yeah, there it is.
So he's making 2 3/4 of a field goal
So
every
he's
game.
on track to beat it. Steelers have been scoring a little more touchdowns than they did in the beginning of the season, though, so that might kill him a little. But
Yeah.
3 really tough games, you're going to be relying on his foot. You could see 3 to 4 next game
Against the Ravens, yeah.
against the Ravens, against the Eagles, against the Chiefs. Like all these teams are going to be really good in the red zone. You're going to have to resort to.
And the Steelers don't go for it often.
I can almost guarantee he breaks this.
I like it.
I do too.
I got him in fantasy too.
So how many points would he have? Do the math on if he gets he needs 9 field goals to break it. So that's 9 times 3 is 27. Plus, say he gets 6 extra points mixed in.
Just off field goals, if he gets 45,
33 more points.
He's 135 points off his foot.
He's at 137 right now.
Points?
Yeah, including extra points. He's at 137 points scored. He's leading the NFL, they said.
Dude, that's crazy.
He has like more points than the next player. The next player was Jamar. Jamar Chase was up there because he has 15 touchdowns. But like 15 times 6 is what? 30?
15 times
like
6.
120?
70. 90.
Yes, I'm like
90? I went a little high.
15 times 6 is 90, yeah.
Yeah. I think he breaks it.
Easy. I think it should be easy. He's going to have one where he has like 4 field goals. I just know it.
He could have 3 against the Eagles and 3 against the Ravens. And then
Yeah,
he would
then
need 3. And then he would need
3 in
4 in the
2
last 2
games.
games.
Who did they play week 18? Browns?
Eagles.
Bengals.
Those are touchdowns.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that's all we got here for the NFL in Week 15. Lots of good stuff to look forward to. A great 4 o'clock slate, a subpar 1 o'clock slate, and 2 Monday Night Football games to wrap up the week. Let's jump into some NBA here, starting out with our power rankings here. Coming in at number 5, the Knicks. Number 4, the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 3, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers. And number 1, the Boston Celtics. Ace not here to talk up his Celtics. What do you guys think about the power rankings here for this week with the NBA Cup happening?
Grizzlies obviously the new face in there. They've been on fire. Rockets still playing good basketball. It's a team that got the bounce, but Mackie, your Knicks at number 5 playing right now in this in-season tournament against the Hawks. I want to get into this in-season tournament talk a little bit. Who do you think? Do you think you guys can? I think you guys win this game. So let's look at the next round. If you don't want to look ahead, I understand.
No, we can look ahead. We can look ahead. I mean, I like the Knicks, but I'm not like. Don't think ahead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think you guys handle the Knicks here or handle the Hawks here. Do you like your chance to beat the Bucks and get to this championship? I think it'll be.
I think it's going to be OKC versus Knicks, and I think OKC wins it.
I think the Rockets win the night. I think the Thunder beat the Rockets. I think you guys beat. Yeah, I have the same thing.
Yeah, I think OKC is going to win it at the end of the day. They're playing really good basketball.
Shot's unreal, but the Bucks are playing so good right now too. Giannis is not fun.
They are playing really good, but I don't know. I'm going to take Cat up against Giannis, and I think the Knicks just have a little more support around them. So I'm going to go with the Knicks there. I think that even if you bring it to playoffs here, I think the Knicks will take them in a 7-game series too. So I'm going to take them in a heads up in the NBA Cup. But I mean, the OKC is a bunch of young guys. They all want that extra money to spend on strippers or APs or whatever the fuck they want to spend it on. So I think OKC is they're on a mission right now, and they're gonna win this NBA Cup. But Knicks are playing great basketball. That team's finally coming together. Jalen Brunson and
they look good right now. I'm watching.
Brunson and Cat are finding their way together. They're finding a way to play together. OG is having a great season so far. They stay healthy. This team is definitely scary.
I was losing it the other day at the Mikal Bridges, or it was not Mikal Bridges. Who was it? Was it Josh Hart saying
Josh Hart, when he was like, I don't give a fuck. When he was, about the dick?
Yeah.
He was like, he said, he said Brunson kept saying all second half, I got dick, I want dick.
Yeah, I'll take dick.
Because of Grady Dick, because they're fighting against Grady Dick. And he was like, I got dick. And Brunson responded.
You can hear him in the background. He goes, I did not say that one time.
He was like speaking on my name like that, something like that. These guys just have a good time. They're all just college teammates going to the NBA, making millions now, just having a good time.
Having a good time.
Winning basketball games. I love this team. It's nice to like a basketball team like this. I never really liked a basketball team like this.
Huge.
Cat's been
I did not think he was going to come in and be that big of a role for you guys.
He's incredible. Actually incredible. Huge asset. And a lot of Knicks fans did not like the trade. I liked it, but I didn't know. Obviously I don't know as much because I don't watch the NBA every day like a lot of people do. But dude, Cat's incredible. He's playing like a top 6 player in the league right now.
He's been playing really good. He was good last year for Minnesota, but I just thought it was going to be like it would take time. He looks immediately really fucking good and better than last year.
He looks better, I think. I mean, he was obviously good for Minnesota, but I think he's just coming into his role and he's just taking over.
Yeah, I agree.
Alrighty, now with the college football playoff, new 12-team playoff quickly approaching, we have our conference champions throughout the country here, starting with the Mountain West, Boise State, the AAC, Army, Big 12, Arizona State, SEC, Georgia, ACC, Clemson, and the Big 10, Oregon, with their first year here in the Big 10. What are we thinking here? First official look at the 2024 college football 12-team playoff bracket. We made our picks. They'll be posted here slowly throughout the week before we get to that here starting next weekend. What are you guys thinking here as we get closer to that?
Do we want to go through each game or want to wait till next week?
I was thinking about that. I didn't pull it up yet.
You just want to say your 4 semifinalists?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll expose my bracket real quick. I got Notre Dame beating Indiana. I think Notre Dame's very underrated. I know they haven't played a lot of competition, but they should get the job done here. I'm going to go SMU over Penn State. I get it. They got to go into Penn State. It's probably going to be a little cold. SMU's good. They proved it. I think that they're going to get there. And Penn State, James Franklin, you know how he does. So sorry, Jesse, but chokers.
It's okay.
Clemson, Texas. I guess I like Texas here. I don't even know who I have in my bracket. This is what I was so back and forth in this game.
I think he did put here. You want me to see?
I got it up here.
I put.
I think you put Clemson.
Yes, you have Clemson.
It didn't matter. You had Arizona State winning that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arizona State beating Clemson, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I would probably have Texas beating Arizona State, but this is just a matchup for me. I think Cade Klubnik from Texas, a lot of his high school teammates are on Texas right now. Him and Quinn Ewers had a huge rivalry in high school, so that's going back to that. I think it's more of like a fuck you game for Clemson. And I think Texas also has not beaten a single good team this entire year. So they haven't proven themselves to me. I can't take them to win a national championship until they beat somebody that's good. So I'm gonna go with Clemson here to upset those Longhorns. And why do you like those Longhorns?
I am biased on them because I have a future on them, but I will say my four. I'll get through it quick. Notre Dame over Indiana, Penn State over SMU, Texas over Clemson, Ohio State over Tennessee. Coming back around that way, I have Ohio State beating Oregon in that rematch. That's probably one of mine I'm very scared of. Texas getting to the semifinals over Arizona State, Penn State beating Boise State, and my bracket I have Georgia over Notre Dame. I am scared of that one because no one is picking against Georgia right now. If Notre Dame gets a banged up Carson Beck or that backup quarterback again, I'm not saying I like their chances to beat them in a neutral site. I wouldn't be shocked if Georgia can't play their best game and Notre Dame gives them a 5-star A game. Notre Dame sneaks into the semifinals. That's another one I'm scared of. I'm very confident in Texas to get there. I like that route for them, and I'm pretty confident in Penn State. I'm overlooking SMU. I will say that I'm more looking at the atmosphere that they're going to be playing in a whiteout in State College. They're going to be buzzing there, and then the Fiesta Bowl they get Boise State in the second round. But my national championship, I have Texas beating Georgia, part 3. I shouldn't say beating them part 3, but part 3, Texas versus Georgia. Texas gets it done. Third time's the charm. They win the national championship. I just think Texas hasn't played anyone all year. They're not going to have to really play anyone until they get Ohio State or Oregon in that semifinal. I mean, they've played obviously Georgia and they've lost both games, but they don't really have a huge win all year. I think they get it in that semifinal game in a neutral site over, like I said, Oregon or Ohio State. I have it being Ohio State.
I just don't think Ryan Day can get there. I think that he's proven year after year
I
that
think
he
it would
can't
be.
win those games.
I've doubted Ohio State more.
Got to beat a good Tennessee team, and then he's got to go play Oregon again.
They're not Michigan though. That's what does it. That's like it doesn't matter.
Ryan Day doesn't win those big games. He has.
I have faith in them to get through both of them. I have them in the semifinal. I think they get there. That's such a good roster.
I mean, I'm not going to say they can't get there.
Will Howard, but like Jeremiah Smith, Abuka, Carnell Tate, that receiving core they have there, Quinshaw Judkins in the backfield. I think Ohio State's bound for a run here. I think that's the kind of team that's actually better off playing 2 huge games or a huge game right off the bat. Because if Ohio State were to draw like an SMU and then go to Oregon or then go to, not saying like I know how the bracket's set up, but I'm saying if it was a little bit different and they would have got like an SMU and then had to go to Oregon, I wouldn't like Ohio State as much here. I think if they get out of a tough game in Columbus, that's another huge aspect. I like a lot of these home teams. I think the home field's going to be huge in that first round for the college football playoff. But I think Ohio State sneaks out a big win in Columbus, then a neutral site against Oregon. Oregon's also known for losing these big games every year. They've never won the national championship.
Yeah, they've never been in a conference like the Big Ten either.
Yeah.
I don't think I said it, but I have Tennessee over Ohio State, and then I have Oregon beating Tennessee. I have Oregon beating Arizona State, I think, in that semifinal, and then I have Oregon beating Georgia in the championship. I think that Georgia-Notre Dame game, assuming it's going to be Georgia-Notre Dame, I think the winner definitely gets the championship. I don't think Penn State, Boise State, SMU, whoever you want to say gets out over there. I don't think they have a chance against either.
I think Notre Dame's a sleeper to beat. I might bet them in that game if they get there against Georgia.
I really like this Notre Dame team, especially if Carson Beck's not back. That quarterback that came in, yeah, he won the game. Yeah, he had a few good drives. There's film on him now.
Wait till team get film on him.
There's film on him now. He only has his feet. He looked scared to throw the football. Against one of these top teams, there's no way he's going to get a win out of that.
I hate Notre Dame, and I do like Georgia. I would lean on Notre Dame in that game.
Yeah, I think I took Georgia, but I was back and forth 100 times. So whoever wins that game will play the national championship.
But that's what scares me is it's going to be like last year when I had Kentucky in the national championship in college basketball, and they lost in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this Georgia team, especially all
first round,
banged
but
up. It'd
be Georgia's first game if they don't get at least the semifinal.
Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be definitely probably one of the best games. But whoever wins that game, I think will play in a national championship against Oregon, and Oregon will handle business either way. Dan Lanning, give me him. Dylan Gabriel, give me him. Get the job
Ted
done.
Johnson, I like him.
Alrighty. Lots of good stuff there out of the college football world for that new 12-team college football playoff. Make sure to tune in here next week as we dive deeper into that as we get closer to those games starting next weekend. let's jump into the NFL. The NFL. Let's jump into the NHL here with our power rankings. Starting out, number 5, the Florida Panthers. Number 4, the Washington Capitals. Number 3, the Winnipeg Jets. Number 2, the Vegas Golden Knights. And number 1, the Minnesota Wild, taking that top spot here this week. What do you guys think about our power rankings in the NHL?
I've not been watching much hockey, but it is crazy to see Minnesota kind of having the season they're having, kind of just stay Mr. Consistent. I feel like these top 4 teams have been there the past couple.
I just don't think it's that crazy that Minnesota's there. I mean, year after year, they've had the players that just haven't been able to, get over that hump. Dallas has had their number every single year in the playoffs. I think that the big guys are stepping up. Kaprizov's having a career year. They have the goaltending. You have these young guys in Boldy. What the fuck's the other guy? I don't know, I'm drawing a blank right now. But they have these young guys stepping up. The team's playing really good. Kaprizov's obviously having a career year. I think that they're not really contenders for a cup at this point, but they're playing great regular season hockey, and they're proved that they should be there.
Yeah, I like I said, I haven't been watching much hockey. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Brock Faber.
What'd you say?
Brock Faber. That's
Brock
the guy.
Faber. Yeah, I was trying to think of the name too. So who's it? Boldy, Faber, Kaprizov. Who's their goalies?
Gustafson.
Gustafson
is playing great. Obviously, Fleury's a great backup as well. These guys are just stepping up big time. I don't know. They've had this for a few years coming, though, for sure.
Alrighty, lots of good stuff there out of the NHL as we keep gearing through that season, but we have some news here out of the MLB, starting with Mackey's New York Mets have officially won the Juan Soto sweepstakes, land him on a 15-year deal worth $765 million, with lots of different contention little things at the end, adding money to keep him off the free agency list, lots of different things like that. So, Mackey, what are your thoughts here? Mets getting Juan Soto, lots of money, but think it's worth it?
I don't care if you paid him $1 billion. You got Juan Soto.
It's not your money. Why? That's
it's so funny.
It's not a salary cap.
It's so funny.
Anything. You could pay him anything. It doesn't matter.
They're like, oh, you're paying him $765 million. I'm like, all right. And Steve Cohen has $18 billion more if he wants to get rid of it. So funny because all these Yankee fans
or
are
if you
like,
want to go sign another guy that was $765 million if Soto sucks.
Dude, they're also like, they're still shopping. They're still trying to go after Bregman. They're still trying to go after. They just missed the Crochet sweepstakes. They were pretty pissed about that, but. And they're looking at Verlander again. Like they are not done at all. But
paying him, so they're like, fuck it, you might as well play for us.
Exactly. You got to pay him again on top of that. So, but it's so funny because all these Yankee fans are like, you guys paid so much money for him. Like you guys wouldn't have paid the same. Like
literally, you guys were gonna pay $760 million.
Shut up, man. But $75 million signing bonus just to sign a piece of paper. $75 million for Juan Soto. Fake money. It's really actually just comical to think about. But good for him. Obviously good for the Mets. They're obviously pushing for something here. We saw them in the NL championship last year and obviously came up short with juggernaut Dodgers. So what do? You go out there and you match them. So you got Vientos, Lindor, Soto, first 3 batters. Going to be hard to beat. They just need to build around that pitching a little better, and could be a big year. I could see the Mets in that World Series next year. You got to get past those Dodgers, but I'm liking what I'm seeing for sure.
Yeah, and I will say this. I didn't see it until like 2 days after. But when you sent that tweet, who was it, Passan or someone saying,
Jeff Passan.
I'm hearing Soto's nearing down to the Mets or whatever. What was the tweet?
It was a phone call.
Mets, Red Sox and Pirates.
Like,
I literally busted out laughing.
It was like an hour before he signed. They were like, it was like breaking. Soto has made phone calls to the Mets, Red Sox, and Pirates in the last hour. And I sent in the group chat. I was like, Pirates in on this, huh? Like, yeah,
big
$800 million coming out. Who even is your owner?
They probably offered him like 6 years, $48 million.
Dude, what does he have to call them about? I really would want. Like, I'm very intrigued on what that conversation was like.
Dude, that's what's not fun about baseball for me is like all these big names in these sweepstakes. Like you're like, oh, they're still going to get Crochet. They're still doing this. Like, dude, if the Pirates even got like I don't even know. Like, I want to say Max Fried, but we wouldn't even pay that.
See, the problem is like you guys are talking about like keeping Skeens.
We're not going to keep Skeens.
What if he wants $600 million?
Yeah, they're not going to pay him.
We can't pay him that. We can,
but physically cannot offer the money. Like
They're hoping he gives them some kind of hometown discount. Like he's from here. He's from the fucking South. He doesn't give. Or he's from California. He doesn't give a fuck about here. His
Yeah,
girlfriend doesn't live here. You think he wants to stay here?
that's the problem with the MLB is that these big names. I mean, they have 4 or 5 possible destinations, and that's
He's
about
going
it.
to be. I think Skeens is going to be a Dodger, and I just kind of hope
Everyone's a Dodger. Everyone's a Dodger. It makes me so angry.
if he's going to leave, I'd rather us trade him than us lose him for nothing.
Yeah, like get something out of him, right? Contract year. Like you're not going to be able to afford him. Here, take him.
Like at the deadline, if he's like in a Cy Young race, trade him at the fucking deadline.
Trade him to the Dodgers. You get assets and everything.
Yeah, rob their farm system.
Like they're going to get him anyway. You might as well get something out of
Exactly.
it.
You might as well get something for him.
Who knows? We'll see how they play it. But it's kind of like those are the situations where like.
Because I know exactly the cards the Pirates are going to play. That Bubba Chandler kid's going to be good. That Ashcraft kid's going to be good. They're going to be like, well, we still got Keller under a good deal, and we got these young guys coming up, and we just had to move on from Skeens. We couldn't afford his market.
That's why the MLB does kind of suck with things like that.
Dude, I can't even it's like not fun for me. I wish I was a fan. That's why I like root for the Yankees. 'Cause it's the only way I can have like somewhat of a rooting interest.
Yeah, it seems that like get those big players.
Yeah.
But
Speak of the Yankees there. Oh, God. Speak of the Yankees there. They've signed starting pitcher Max Fried to an 8-year deal worth $218 million. The Yankees' potential rotation consists of Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rondon, Lewis Gill, Stroman, Cortez, and Schmidt.
A nasty rotation. That's
Yeah,
more than the starting five. Who are they going to put in the relief?
Stroman will probably
back to relief.
No, they're paying him $19 million. You don't pay a reliever $19 million. Sherman will probably get dealt. Yeah, so it'll be
Cole,
Fried, Gill, however you want to say it, Rodon, and Cortez. And then you'll have, what was the other guy you said?
Schmidt and Stroman you left out.
Cortez, Schmidt, Lewis Gill.
So Stroman will probably get dealt. Schmidt will probably go to the bullpen.
Gill, or however you said, just won the Rookie of the Year. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
No, he'll stay for sure.
Cole, Fried, and Gill are the guarantees. Then you have Cortez, Rodon. I think Rodon stays.
Rodon, I mean, you're paying him way too much money.
From Cortez and try to keep Stroman. I like Stroman there.
They're not going to keep Stroman. He didn't have a great year last year. They're already talking about moving him, I think.
I'd take him.
And you can't put him in the bullpen. You're paying him $19 million.
Yeah. That's the kind of guy I wish the Pirates would go get.
A guy like him,
I love that they got Chapman. I'm so fucking pissed Chapman went to the Red Sox.
Of course, Ace's team too, right?
Literally, any other fucking team.
But yeah, I mean these Yankees.
I actually don't mind the Red Sox that much. For someone that likes the Yankees, I really don't give a fuck about the Red Sox.
So yeah, I mean the Yankees, they missed out on spending $760 million. That money's got to go somewhere. You better go spend it.
They literally just cut it into 3 pieces and said, "Here, Max Fried, you're worth 1/3 of Juan Soto."
Well, the problem is he's like 31 years old, so
yeah,
and he's long contract.
year.
I think he has 2 years max of really good baseball, and then he's probably gonna like retire or something.
I mean, that's the window the Yankees are with like Stanton, Judge.
Yeah, but the Yankees, they always have something going.
Yeah, they'll buy somebody else. Fucking Skeens in 2 years.
It's never a small window for these big market teams in the MLB. But good moves so far. There's definitely a lot more that's going to happen. But yeah, obviously these blockbusters are big.
Who else is like still being waited to be moved?
Kyle Tucker.
Is it like officially free agency?
Yeah, it's got to be. If Soto's gone, I mean, but these big guys always got to go. These big guys always got to go first because everybody makes their moves off of these big guys. So Soto's gone now. A bunch of other teams open up their markets because they obviously miss out. But
so the Pirates got some first baseman from the Blue Jays I've never heard of.
Didn't even know his name.
Himstroll.
Yeah, he's just Kyle Tucker.
He just totally brushed it off.
I did no idea who the hell that is.
I don't know who he is either. I just wanted to see.
What did he say? Himstroll?
It was like him. Jesse, look it up. Look up the trade the Pirates made. This is what my Pirates are doing in the offseason.
Yeah, I get to talk about Juan Soto. You guys are talking about this first baseman, Himstroll.
Horwitz.
Horwitz. Oh, I think I've heard of him. I don't know him, but I think I've heard of him.
Horwitz from the Guardians.
Who else? Jimenez just went somewhere.
We just lost, not to the Pirates. He went to the Blue Jays. We just lost
Jimenez. Yeah, he went to the Blue Jays.
Luis Ortiz to the Guardians. A 3-team trade.
Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
Isn't he like 40?
He is old. It wasn't a bad move.
Yeah, who else is on the block? It's Tucker, it's Bregman,
Where is
Verlander.
Bregman right now?
He's in Houston.
He's still in Houston? I
Yeah.
always get confused because Correa left and
yeah.
then Springer left. I always associate Springer and Bregman as the same person. I don't know why.
Springer, is he still in Toronto? Yeah. But people are talking about Bregman and Tucker going to the Yankees.
Ace keeps saying Vladdy's going to get. I don't think so. I think they're kind of trying to build something there.
Yeah, I think that's why they're good. I mean, they offered Soto like $730 million. So
yeah, they had no shot at getting.
Yeah, they did. They really did. He wasn't going to fucking Canada. That was funny. But
Luis Ortiz is 25, by the way.
who am I thinking of? Russ Ortiz. Remember him?
There's probably been. Look up how many Ortizes there's been in the
Russ
MLB history.
Ortiz. I used to play with him in like MLB 05. That's who I was thinking of. I was like,
There's
wait,
been
there's no way this is the same guy.
1,674 players. Last name Ortiz.
Russ Ortiz.
You
Yeah, I
could
think
say
he's
any
played for the
first name,
Braves.
and I'd be like, yeah.
Joey, David, Lewis, Ramon.
Yeah, Russ Ortiz is 50 years old. That's who I was thinking of. I was like, no way. I think he used to play for the Braves when I used to play my game. Nope. Oh, yeah, he did. 03, 04, 05.
Yeah.
Right on the money.
Yeah, you get Juan Soto. I got, what's his name?
Horwitz. Get used to it. You got to
There
remember.
we go. But, yeah, I mean, that's about it, Jess. What do you think?
That's about all I got. Anything else to add before we get out of here?
I think that's it. Solid week in the NFL. Full slate coming. Make sure you're staying tuned for our live stream on Sunday. And other than that, thanks for listening. Leave us a like, follow, share, subscribe. We appreciate it. And thanks for listening. And we'll see you on Sunday.